Oh shoot, I threw some pins in there. Okay, where are they? Lousy good for nothing piece of piece. Roaming reporter Ray Cotolo here. No, not Roman reporter. Roaming. I am traveling the world to get down to the truth and to the gritty nitty. So come with me, shall you? And join me on a splendiferous journey around the globe to figure out what the hell am I talking about? Come on! I am live from a parking lot outside an abandoned Home Depot in the country of Ukraine, joined here with Tahnee Cammilleri.
No.
Tahnee, for all those wondering too, she is the trainer of Dancin Lou, who is racing in the Hambletonian Memorial this Saturday at the Meadowlands, and also he was your first Grand Circuit horse, right? The first one to bring it there.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, blessed.
How is it that? Because, like, I can't just go out there and get a horse like that. Even with all the luck in the world, you know, the horse would probably end up, like, starving. And I would feed it, too, so then it would just even be more insult to injury. But how do you make all of those connections with as short of a time you've been here to luck out in that kind of situation?
You know, I was really fortunate that I have a trading visa. This is how I stay here, like long term, and I trade foreign horses. So one of the owners of Dancin Lou, I actually sold him a mare when I first came over, and I guess in the end one thing led to another, and they were looking for a US-based trainer to take this 3-year-old, and pretty much a week or two before he arrived, they're like, do you want to take him? And I'm like, oh, well, they're good payers, and I've said that to them. I joke about with them now. So I'm like, sure, why not? I wasn't, you know, I thought he would, you know, win a non-winners a 2, non-winners a 4, and then I thought it might get a little tough. So I'm sort of as surprised as everyone, but I'm really, really thankful and fortunate that he's turned out to be the horse that he is.
That touches on an even bigger point. For a lot of people, you know, they grow up, they race in Australia, they go, yeah, you know what, I'm okay with just this. But what was it that convinced you to try and come over to the States and start a career here?
You know, I sort of wasn't racing. The rules there are very strict. They've got really strict like treatment rules. Suspensions pretty much start at 6 months, and our purses are very, very poor. So it was like a combination. It's a very hard place to make money, and you cannot slip up or you're going to be on the sidelines for 6 months, and it could be something completely innocent. And I had so much fun racing here in 2009. It was like the best year of my life. I had a gap year over here while I was at university, and I'm like, I just feel it's probably an Australian thing. We feel like if you can make it here in the States, you have made it. So I'm like, I got nothing to lose. I just, you know, came over with 4 horses and a dog, and yeah, it's been a great ride.
Oh, so you came here in 2009. Did you work for someone then, or were you running a little small stable?
The first 6 months, I was under the care of Paul Jessup, and then I sort of branched out on my own the last 6 months, and yeah, it was a really good year. I had the time of my life, made a bunch of new friends, and you know, I was sad to leave, but sort of finishing my university degree was hanging over my head, so I had to get that out of the way anyway.
What'd you major in?
Law.
Oh, right! I remember that story, because I remember you were on In the Sulky in like 2018 I think it was 2018, and they were talking about how you were on the track to be a lawyer, but like many lawyers, you left.
Yes,
I don't blame
you.
I don't blame you. It's a tough market.
Here it is.
It's a tough market. My girlfriend is actually trying to become a lawyer, and she tells me all the time, you know, it's you go to grad school and you're stuck there for the rest of your life. And that doesn't sound like the Cammilerri way.
No, you know, and I feel like education is never wasted. Like I sort of, you know, develop logic and reasoning and research skills, which I've been able to apply as a harness trainer. So it was a good chunk of my life, but, you know, like I said, education's not wasted. I wouldn't not have done it if I had to go back again, but you know, harness racing is my passion, and this is what I love to do. This is not work to me. I'm just so blessed to wake up in the morning and do something that I love. You know, not everyone gets to do that.
We just talked to Tim Tetrick, who, as Rod would know, is famous for not having a law degree.
Drive horses for, you know, what, for whatever reason. But
What is it about your education that you feel is a real benefit? Like what do you think helps it separate you as a trainer?
You know, I think, I guess I spent several years developing my research skills, and I'm so interested in thinking outside of the box. Like, I'm not going to just do the same thing or what everyone else does. And sometimes, you know, what everyone else does actually work. And other times, if you're not getting the results, you have to look outside the box. And I've got those skills now where I can do that. Like, I constantly research online, or, you know, if new books come out on horse training, or that, you know, I talk to a lot of people, and I try and, you know, grab a little bit from everyone. And, you know, it's just, I'm constantly learning. I love it. It's just, I learn something new about the horses every day. It's great. It's really, you know, it's really interesting.
What do you think is the most important lesson you've learned in your short time here?
You know what? Being an Australian, we love to drill horses. We're quite tough on them. I guess probably learning, and I still don't think I've got it quite right yet, but learning when to back off and, you know, when to put your foot down again. And I've always sort of had overnight horses, claimers, and, you know, they sort of operate at 95% most weeks, but these stakes horses, it's been a huge learning curve to be able to try and pinpoint races, and, you know, then you've got to back off them and freshen them up and then wind them back up again. And it's, I probably spend 4 hours a day thinking about what I'm going to do with Lou the next day. You know, it's definitely, not that I ever thought it was easy, but it is so much harder than preparing an overnight horse, that's for sure. I really underestimated just what goes into having these horses might only have, you know, 12, 16, 18 starts a year, but what goes into trying having them right just for that limited amount of starts that they have is just unbelievable. So I don't know how some of these stables with multiple stakes horses do it. Like, it's, you know, my hat goes off to them. So
that's true. You have one, and it's a lot still.
And he happens to be, my opinion anyway, the best free-for-all pacer on planet Earth right now.
Oh, thank you.
And Dancin Lou. He is unbelievably sharp right now. You got him incredible.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going good. So hopefully they don't go to a half and 52 again on Saturday. But, you know, whenever he's in a big race, that's what they seem to do.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Rod?
I was going to say, yeah, they don't slow down in those big races.
No.
So expect it again on Saturday, with especially with warm temperatures at the Meadowlands.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah, you were talking on how just the learning curve to managing these kind of stakes horses. The thing that popped out to me with Dancin Lou is you have a lot of these horses. They raced last week at the Meadowlands, like American History, Backstreet Shadow. They all kind of raced together, but once he won the Houghton, you shelved him for a little bit, and I imagine that was on purpose.
You know, it was like the week before, you know, he also had a real gut buster, and he's got an amazing constitution. I wouldn't say the races knocked him around. That's probably one of his biggest assets is, you know, he can have a hard run, and like he's, you know, I get home and he's eaten dinner by the time I get back there, and just, you know, he's really good like that. But he's also a confidence horse. You know, he can get his feelings hurt a little bit, and he's full of confidence now. And I knew if I put him in a qualifier, you know, if I told Brian to go 51, he was going to go 51. And that's just, I feel, we'll find out on Saturday, I feel that that's all he sort of needed, because he had quite a few really hard races in a row. And I guess we'll see on Saturday. But, you know, he come out the qualifier and he was just so proud of himself. You know, he wasn't blowing his, you know, chest was all puffed out, and he thought he was the ant's pants. So hopefully he goes into the race on Saturday sort of still feeling, you know, like that. And if he's full of confidence, he generally races better.
Now, one thing with horses like that that race better, you know, off of a really good start like that qualifier, where, you know, he didn't have to press himself, he did it easily, and kind of like he had fun doing it. You know what I mean?
It didn't knock him around, that's for sure. So.
Yeah. So a mile like that, coming off a mile like that and going into a big race like that, you want him confident. But with a horse like him, I think he's always confident. It's just sometimes he doesn't really get his own way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the downfalls to him. But, I mean, still, first over, on the lead, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any type of game plan for Saturday with him?
You know, I'm fortunate that Brian's been sticking with him, and he's won more big races than I've had hot dinners, so I'm not going to tell him what to do. He can do what he wants, and I hand him the lines and he's like, how's my boy? And I'm just like, good. And then I let him do the rest. So, you know, each start I feel that he's gotten to know the horse a little more, because he's got a few quirks. You know, I wouldn't say he's a hard horse to drive, but there are certain things he likes to do and, you know, and doesn't like to do. And like I said, it all revolves around his little ego too. So, you know, Brian's really starting to work him out now, and, you know, I'm sure he's going to run a good race on Saturday.
Please have more hot dinners. You can just throw like a $1 box of mac and cheese on the stove. You're missing out if you're not having a ton. Dancin Lou, for a lot of people, came onto our radars in Lexington when he won. I think it was the Tattersalls. He came up the inside, beat a bunch of the 3-year-olds there, and then since then has been atop the division. What would you say has changed most with him from that point in his career to where he's coming in Saturday?
You know, I guess he was still probably raced a little green, you know, as a 3-year-old, and I just, you know, he could run in a little, run out, do things wrong, make a couple of blunders at the gate, and he doesn't do that now. He's definitely a lot more mature, and, you know, I had sort of an issue for at least part of his season as a 3-year-old. You know, he could be a little sour and just, you know, just didn't really care for work, and since he came back from his spell, his turnout as a 4-year-old now, like, he goes on the track and he loves his work, and, you know, he'll give me a little cheek every now and again, but his attitude is so good, whereas he didn't. It got better towards the end last season, but he didn't quite have that good attitude and work ethic that he does now. Like, he goes out there and he knows his job, and, you know, he just wants to do it. You know, I was actually surprised at sort of when he come back, just how much better his attitude was. So, because, you know, like studs, they can be a little sour sometimes, and, you know, but no, he's been really good this time in.
I'm sure you can relate to that too. You know, having gone to university, it's like one day you wake up, you're just like, I hate everything. I hate the situation I'm in. I hate being alive. But then, like, you graduate and you realize the struggle for everyone else, and you go, yeah, I kind of like this. I'm okay with this. That sounds kind of like what he's done. He's just kind of mature. And,
you know, the more races he wins, the more spoiled he's get. I think he's cottoned on to that now, and he's just like, this life isn't too bad, Ma.
How has he kind of opened the door for you then? Because I know for a lot of trainers, it's they pop onto the Grand Circuit, and a lot of people see that they can train these kind of horses. Have you been getting a lot more offers now for some kind of higher quality horses?
You know, it's only just been recently that people have started to contact me. To be fair, I feel that people probably want to see me also produce a 2-year-old, which, you know, hopefully next year maybe that's something that I can do. But I sell a lot of foreign horses, and I guess I've been getting like heaps of, my name sort of got out there with that. So I've got sort of like heaps of, you know, that side of the business has just exploded. But, you know, obviously I would like to grow my stable a little more, and I've got the bug now. Like, I love this stakes racing. It's just, it's the best. It's so exciting. So, I know if given the opportunity that, you know, I can produce and prepare 2-year-old winners as well. And I think once I get that opportunity to show that, then, you know, a lot more doors will open. So it'll happen. It's a work in progress.
I would say in a business card kind of way to put your number out there and contact you. But I recognize you might just like get unsolicited "you up" texts at 2 a.m. and I don't want to subject you to that.
I get those anyway. So
that's true. That's true. That's I think what Rudyard Kipling described as the woman's burden, the burden of ovaries, as he so poetically put it. Well,
not so poetic though.
I mean, you could say women aren't poetry, Rod. That speaks volumes for your lifestyle. Tahnee, Tahnee, thank you so much for taking time. Is this your first Hambletonian day? Like competing?
It is. It's my first one ever attending, and I have a runner on the card. I can't believe it. I'm so happy.
Well, I asked Timmy this earlier. Like some people when they get up out of bed, you know, they'll decide, you know what? I'm gonna have the cornflakes today instead of the Raisin Bran. You know, something just different like that because it's a special day. How are you gonna come into Hambletonian Day?
I'm going to try and get my nails done tomorrow. I've had a lot of luck getting my nails done in pink before a big race, so I'm going to try. I might do that.
Superstitious kind.
Yeah. So I might try and book in if I haven't left it too late, do that. And I don't know, I'm just trying to... I feel if I get too nervous, it rubs off on Lou. So I try and do my best. You know, it's a little hard, but to try and keep calm and pretend like everything's normal for him so he can just go out there and do his thing. So I'm probably not going to change too much, but I'm actually just getting nervous thinking about Saturday now.
Yeah, don't get nervous.
One thing that will calm the nerves is a hot dinner. So, I know it's a little late for that, but I just...
No, listen, I still have half of my dinner sitting here because I got home. I was on my way home and realized how hungry I was, so I still have half my dinner sitting here, Subway sandwiches. And yes, I said sandwiches with 2 M's.
Rod, that's a cold dinner. That's the exact opposite of what I am suggesting.
No, it's chicken bacon ranch. It was heated.
It's heated, but it's been out for 2 hours. Do you understand how radiation works? The energy contained inside of the sandwich dissipates.
Blah, blah, blah.
Rod doesn't have a law degree. He doesn't understand. Tahnee understands what I'm saying. Thanks again. It's super exciting. You'll be able to be on track. It's the first time in 10 years I won't be there, so enjoy it for me.
Okay, I definitely will. No, I appreciate you taking the time to interview me as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for giving us
Make sure you send us some pictures from Hambo Day since we can't be there.
Okay, no worries. Definitely will.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Tahnee.
See you later.
Thanks, Tahnee.
Bye. Bye.